We wanted to talk today just about some of the advantages of website businesses as an investment. And so I wanted to just dive into some of these questions, really starting with what are some of those advantages in investing in a website business versus other types of businesses, specifically as it relates to risk and then also return on investment.
Okay. Yeah. So people are, I mean, generally the what I found is people are looking. They talk about a lot of people talk about real estate investments or investing in equities in the stock market. That's sort of the primary motivator. There right now, cash, of course, there's no real interest rates that you're earning, so we're not really being encouraged to save. Money's cheap, so people are looking at ways to take their capital and deploy it in ways that they can get a good return and obviously mitigate their risk. Buying a business is certainly one of those avenues, and since this 2020 has shown us that there's more risk, or has been a lot of risk in owning traditional brick and mortar businesses, so everyone's being forced to work from home and learn software and Zoom and whatnot. So there's certainly been an uptick in awareness as well, I'm not going to buy a cafe or a business that's reliant on traffic because of the social distancing. So they're starting to look online as an option. With the real estate markets surging and at sort of the highest levels ever, and same with the stock market, you have to kind of have a lot of cojones to go in and think that you're going to get massive gains or returns without the downside risks of the possibilities of the markets turning. And certainly the stimulus money that's been injected has really just gone in to inflate those prices. It's kind of disconnected from the rest of the world, where there's a lot of people not making ends meet and bankruptcies and debts and whatnot. So I think those risks are real, and so people are starting to calculate, well, where do I want to deploy my money, and what are the options? And so if you look at there's certain, there are arguments to invest in equities and the stock market, and I think you have to be careful in that regard. And certainly real estate can have its benefits, but of course there's problems with rental and commercial properties right now. And it's, again, you're paying, it's still at the top of the market. So I think people are starting to well, where can I get a risk reward kind of value outside of maybe throwing it into precious metals or something, or cryptocurrency or Bitcoin or whatever. So all of those have different risk profiles, and they're from conservative to more risky. The idea of investing in an online business or in a business in general is that you're buying essentially a business that's already cash flowing, presumably. It's got established track record and history of earning money, and so you're essentially buying a business or putting the money into an investment that's going to create an ROI, a return on investment, that is in the online space is going to be anywhere from 25% to 50% ROI, just depending on the valuation. To make that clear, if you were buying a business that was making $100,000 and you paid fair market, let's say it sells for 3x multiple, so 300,000, you're essentially buying a business that's going to, as long as it continues doing what it's doing, is going to earn you a 33% ROI, a dividend payment. And if you'll still have the asset value. So if all things considered, if nothing happens, if it stays steady, you still have the $300,000 company, and you've made your money back, and you could sell it again. That's obviously not the goal of most buyers. They're going to come in and buy something that they believe they can take to another level, that with their skill set or their knowledge, or maybe they already have a portfolio of that they can leverage and get some synergies on. So they're going to buy a business that's 300,000 and grow it to $1 million, and maybe get their money back in a year and a half, because they're skilled at growing a business or marketing, whatever. So it's kind of interesting. I look at it as owning stock. Like, it's kind of like owning a stock that's providing a dividend, but you're absolutely in control of it. And so you're not in control of what happens in the general stock market or the companies that you're taking on that risk. But when you buy your own business, you're not only, you own it and you control it, and so you have more, your destiny is more in your hands. And if you pick a solid business that has good fundamentals, and we can dive into that afterwards, you can really mitigate your risk, and you can buy businesses that are going to thrive in any kind of environment. So, and which is another topic that we can dive into. So